I have another story time for you. This one is about the first time Royale tried edibles and what the result was. I'm laughing and you'll see why in a minute. Picture this, Westchester County, circa 2020. I am trying to figure out how to manage my PCOS symptoms, namely the insomnia. The insomnia is ridiculous at this point. Like, I don't sleep. I can't get any sleep. I'm up all night, sometimes almost 48 hours, and it's debilitating. Like, it's stressing me out, and not only is it stressing me out, but it's exhausting me because I'm tired but wired and can't sleep. So I started doing some research and I find out from some people in the PCOS community that they've been using CBD oil to help them manage their sleep. So I was like, oh, bet, like I'll try it. So I tried one oil for a few days and it wasn't really working, I felt like. And then I tried another oil for a couple of days, but I realized every time I took that particular oil, I was sneezing and I was like, oh my gosh, am I allergic? So I was like, crap, like, what am I going to do? Like, I really need to try something. So then I was like, I'm not going to smoke weed because, like, who does that at this age, you know, and at this stage of the game? I'm sure many of you do, but so I was like, edibles. So I started trying to look into how to get edibles, which as a novice, this was a very daunting task. So I was like, all right, I had no idea. So I go where I go for a lot of my information, Instagram, and I start scouring the gram looking for someone local who sells edibles. Lo and behold, I find someone. First of all, she's amazing. Her products are great, but this was my first time, so I had no idea what I wanted. So I decided to get like a little cosita of gummies, and I think it was like 5 or 6 that came in the container. And then I got red velvet cookies because I mean, who doesn't like red velvet? And I was like, cookies, yum. So I think I got 3 cookies, and these aren't like regular cookies. Like the cookies were like this big. Like old girl really does hook you up. So I got 3. I had no idea of like potency or grams or anything like that. Like, I don't know. So I was just like, I'm going to get this. So she's in Long Island, I think. So it took like a couple days because I think the day I placed the order was like the day after she ships out or something. So I had to wait like another week. But I was like, it's all right. You know, I could deal with insomnia for another week, just knowing that on the other end of this, there's some kind of relief. So I ordered my 3 cookies and my container of gummies, and then it comes in the mail. I remember it came in the mail on a Friday night, and I was so excited, like super excited. Now in my head, I was like, you know, let me get something to eat before I have these edibles because I don't know what's going to happen. So I was like, I need to have a full stomach. I don't know why in my head I was like, I need to have a full stomach. Anyway, so I'm gonna go buy some Chinese food. Who tell me if I'm gonna go buy Chinese food? Because I really don't eat Chinese food like that. But I was like, whatever, I need something quick. So I'm eating the Chinese food. I finished the Chinese food. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have a cookie for dessert. So now I've never taken edibles before. So something in my head literally was like, girl, don't eat a whole cookie. Because I was like, I could eat a gummy, but what if I eat a gummy and like I'm fucked up? So I was like, in my head, eating half a cookie was better than eating a whole gummy. I don't know why. So it's like 6:30 in the evening and I eat this half a cookie. The cookie was delicious, okay? Like delicioso. So I was like, oh my God, that was the best cookie ever. I kid you not. Within 20 minutes, I am tired. Like my eyes are mad low. I think I called my sister and I was like, yo, I think it's starting to settle in. Like, I think, you know, I'm getting high. And she was like, you're not high. Like, what did you have? So I told her and she was like, yeah, I don't think it works that fast. And I was like, okay.
Did you know that you can save time and money managing your freelance work using Bonsai? Bonsai has an all-in-one software suite that makes it easy for freelancers to manage your paperwork, keep track of your finances, be prepared for tax season, and so much more. Bonsai has a clean and intuitive user interface that allows you to create winning proposals, quotes, and scopes of work using their easy-to-use templates. Did you know that you can draft bulletproof contracts using their templates within minutes? And you can send those contracts digitally and get them e-signed using Bonsai's online signature maker. You can get paid on time whenever you create and send professional invoices, you guessed it, using Bonsai's templates. I've been using Bonsai for quite some time now, and I must say it has been a game changer. One of the things I hate about being a freelancer is having to manage the business side of things, and Bonsai does that for me seamlessly. Are you ready to discover how Bonsai can help you create a rock-solid freelance contract? Use my personalized link, which will also be in the description box below, to sign up for a 14-day trial so that you can see for yourself what Bonsai can do for you.
Anyway, so I remember like falling asleep, and then I woke up at like 8:30, but I thought it was like midnight. And I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and I was like, yo, I'm fucked up. And he was like, what do you mean? So I was like, yo, I got edibles. I ate a half a cookie, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, are you serious? I was like, yes. I was like, yo, I'm so high. Like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm so high. And he was like, all right, I think we talked for a little while longer. Have no idea what I said. Hang up from him. And then I go back into bed, and I think I doze back off to sleep. And around 9 something, I wake up and my stomach is killing me. I'm like, oh my God, like, what the fuck? I'm like, is it the Chinese food? Like, what is messing with me right now? Couldn't figure it out. But I was like, oh my God, this hurts so much. So now I'm like in the bathroom, and I think like I have to take a dump. So I sit on the toilet, but I also feel like I have to throw up. So I'm like on the toilet, but leaned over the bathtub because I was like, I don't think I could reach the sink. So if something happens from either end, like I'm covered. In my mind, it was a brilliant plan, but can't trust high people. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, what the hell? So I'm on the toilet for what feels like an eternity. And then I start to feel like a little bit hot, but like a little bit weird too. I can't even explain the feeling. Like my fingers felt like winter fresh gum, like Wrigley's winter fresh gum. And I was like, whoa, how is that possible? But other than that, like I definitely felt like I was under the influence and like my winter fresh feeling hands. But other than that, like I couldn't really think of anything that really said like, nah, girl, you high. So I was like, oh my goodness, like what's happening to me? How long is this going to last? Why did I do this? Immediately I start with like the panic thinking. I don't know how long I was on that toilet. Like I said, it felt like forever. So I start calling for my daughter. I'm like, Farron, help me. And I'm calling and she doesn't answer. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm here all alone. So I find a way to get off the toilet finally. And I'm like crawling out of the bathroom into my bedroom. So I have an ensuite. So I'm crawling out of the bathroom into the bedroom. And then like I collapse on the floor. And I just remember I started twerking. Now I'm legit twerking. Like I was in a twerk off. I'm laying on the floor, but I'm twerking. And I was like, yo, what? In my mind, I'm like, yo, what the hell? But at the same time, like I'm just twerking. So I keep calling Farron's name as I'm laying there on the floor twerking. And she finally comes and she's like, yes. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, thank God you're here. She was like, what is wrong with you? Now I can't tell the little girl that I just got high off of some cookies that I bought on the internet. So I was like, oh, I don't feel so good. And then I was like, screw it. I was like, I had an edible and I don't know what's wrong and I need help. Still twerking on the floor, mind you. I was like, get me some water. And then I was like, oh my God. I was like, I have to go to the bathroom again. So I get back on the toilet. Again, nothing happens. Nothing comes. So then I'm like, okay. So she gets me the water and I'm drinking the water. And with every sip, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm feeling better. Like this water is like magic elixir. Like I'm literally like bugging the fuck out in my mind, like having these thoughts. So I'm like drinking the water. And I'm like, more. So she goes and gets me another glass of water. And then she puts it on the bedside. By the time she comes up and puts it on my nightstand, I'm like coming out of the bathroom, walking this time. But like walking and still like twerking while I'm walking. So I'm twerking while I'm walking, the craziest thing you've ever seen. Well, maybe not you, but crazy. And I like get in the bed and she turns to leave and I was like, no, please don't leave me. I'm scared. Like, you can't leave me. Please stay. She was like, what am I supposed to do? I was like, I don't know. Like, get in the bed with me. So she's laying on one side of the bed and I'm laying on the other side of the bed, still twerking. Okay. All I remember is my daughter turning to me and going, Mommy, at some point, you have to stop twerking. I can laugh at this shit now because I literally was like twerking for hours, like hours. Okay. At this point, it's like midnight, after midnight. I think it's like, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning because the time just seems to be super elongated and I can't explain why. And I'm like, she said that to me and I started to laugh. And then I was like, I can't stop twerking. Like literally, I could not stop twerking. I don't know why. I don't know why that was the effect that the edibles had on me. So then I'm like talking to my sister and my friend the next day. And my sister, I'm like, oh my God, this happened. And she was like, you ate how much? I was like, half a cookie. She was like, girl, you were supposed to take that half and make another half and then take a half of that half. I was like, so like an eighth? She was like, yes. And especially for you. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a super lightweight. Like I don't drink unless it's like special occasion. And even then it takes me like all night to drink a drink. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke weed. I think I smoked weed once when I was like early teens. And when I say once, I mean like, and being like, oh, I don't like this. That was it. So I'm a lightweight. Like even caffeine has an effect on me. She was like, why would you think of all people you could eat a half a cookie? I was like, well, who knew a half a cookie was going to send me like maniatica? So then I'm talking to my friend and I'm like, yo, like I was just twerking all night. And he was like, yo, somebody else I know who got high was saying that they just would twerk it all the time. And I was like, yo, I don't know. I don't know why I was twerking and I couldn't stop, but such is life. Then I start looking it up because I was like, yo, my stomach was really hurting me. Mind you, I never pooped and I never threw up. But like my stomach was really hurting me to the point where I felt like I had to do one or the other or both. But nothing happened. Turns out those stomach pains I was feeling was a symptom of being high. Like almost to the point of being poisoned, of having like TSH, THS. I don't know, you know, whatever the acronym is. I think it's TSH. But being TSH poisoned, like that's the effect that it has. Like you have those weird abdominal cramps. Freaked out completely. So I was like, oh no, I'm never going to have edibles again. Of course, that didn't stand because I was like, a sister needs sleep more than she care about twerking while she's high. But yeah, so I learned my lesson. And from then on, I have taken my edibles in moderation. And I've opted for the candies because with the candies, you could just pop a candy. And for me, I'm like knocked out already. So I was like, I think that's the safer bet than the cookie because I think I had the rest of the cookies here in my house for a while, like a few weeks. And then I was like, I don't think this is good. But the candies last much longer. So now I have a box of candy here, of edible candy that I've had since last year, Mother's Day. So literally a year ago. I've eaten some, but I didn't eat the whole box. And I'm like, are these candies still good? But I don't dare try to have those edibles right now. Like I have to wait. Like thank goodness I did it on a Friday night and thank goodness I did it when someone else was here. I just wish it was someone other than my daughter, but you know, such is life. But yeah, for those of you who are unfamiliar with edibles or the potency of the edibles and the person from whom you're buying, yeah, learn from me and take your dosage in moderation and do like an eighth of a cookie or a quarter of a cookie. So that way you're not high off your ass and have no idea how it happened. So this has been another true story from the WAAAAY Files. Hope it was entertaining for you. And come back next time. There will be lots more stories because I swear to God, this shit only happens to me and a few of my girlfriends. Until next time, bye guys, and thank you so much for tuning in.